on first. Right there. Pretty cool. Instead of white duck there, goose. Yes, right here. Definitely use it. Where's the black swan?
I don't know where they are.
Oh my goodness. I never seen this duck before. Energy plant.
They don't do it like that anymore. That's why we had to put at university. They don't do it like that.
A live plant. All plants are live, aren't they? Wow, an actual motion that moved. Kinetic energy plant. Reading. Cool.
Disney.
Right.
I like that. Oh, it feels so much better in the shoes. I like Animal Kingdom for like strolling around because it's more pleasant. It's a little human today. Alright, we're doing dinosaur first and then we're doing Everett. Dinosaur then Everett.
Yes, dinosaur live.
Yeah, there's the shows moving.
Bug's Life treat.
They're like within 2 characters on the boat. But he knows it's a good
We're in the dinosaur land now.
King of Los Angeles. But this is Florida.
King of Monland. I'd rather see that in the stats it's flat.
Pangea at the time. It looks like it was already forming up through the earthquake. Yeah, way after. And there was millions of years in between dinosaurs and humans. Like a natural nuclear bomb. Bigger than any.
That will literally transport you to the age of the dinosaur. How? That's hot.
Filling all the available space.
It's a breathtaking journey through a prehistoric world where you'll witness the most spectacular creatures to ever walk the earth. In a moment, you'll be going live to our control center for a comprehensive safety briefing. And then it's on to the tour that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Secret, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself. But let's not talk about me, let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today with the Time Rover. It's like this. If I can bring you back from the Cretaceous period, it stands to reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur. Take a look at this guy. He's an iguanodon, and I'm certain that he is the key to understanding these magnificent creatures. I tagged him with a locator during an unauthorized field trip. Otherwise, I'd be traveling with you. Right now, our dino should be about here, at the very end of the Cretaceous period. That's where you're going today.
Arrived, it seems, just in time to correct a little misstatement.
Dr. Marsh.
That is impossibly close to the giant asteroid impact that destroyed most life forms on Earth. Our tours are designed to take you to the early Cretaceous period. And I can assure you that all Time Rovers have been securely locked on those coordinates.
That's right. See? Securely locked. Access denied.
Continue.
Of course. We were just talking about seatbelts. Plug them in. Use them. It can get kind of choppy out there, so keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. Flash photography? I wouldn't. It alters the homing signal, and that's not good. Oh, and one more thing. Those locked coordinates? We're in. Now, here's the drill. You follow the homing signal to the iguanodon, then I'll enlarge the transport field, and boom, you're back with one additional passenger extra large. And don't worry about that asteroid. You'll be in and out of there before it even breaks the atmosphere. Trust me, what could go wrong?
No, it's not that. I had trouble clicking on. Always need to click on. Seatbelts are common sense. Always. There's no doors in these things?
It's a Jeep.
A Jeep.
Time travel commencing in T-minus 10 seconds and counting.
This is Seeker. Listen up. We've got to get in, grab the iguanodon, and get out before the asteroid hits. Let's roll! Okay, now, let's go get that dino. Computer, what are you tracking?
Styracosaurus.
Not our dino.
Warning, meteor shower in range.
Just little one.
Oleoramus. Hadrosaur. Raptor.
Time to get serious. Locking autopilot on homing signal now!
Uh-oh.
Hang on!
Oh boy. Jesus Christ.
I'm tracking a big dino on the scope. Could be ours. Computer, full stop. Identify.
Carnotaurus.
Definitely not our dino. Go, go, go!
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Another big guy coming up. Computer. Slow and identify.
Sauropod.
Still not our dino, but at least this one's a vegetarian.
Not out for my blood.
Asteroid impact in 90 seconds.
We better move it.
Pterodactyl.
Incoming!
Asteroid impact in 60 seconds.
We can't stop now! Keep going! Keep going!
Compsog Nathus.
Computer, what's happening?
Loss of traction.
Four-wheel drive! Move it!
Warning, meteor struck.
Evasive maneuver! Left! Right! Left! Right! That was close. Computer, now what?
Carnotaurus.
That's it! Abort mission! Abort! Abort!
Iguanodon.
Forget it! Get them out now!
Asteroid impact.
Brace yourself! This is it! They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
You made it! I knew you would, and guess who made it back with you? I better find it before security does. Thanks for everything! Woo!
Well done.
Now Everest.
Sorry on the mountain, addresses of the sea, dark horizons black wrong with the voice of prophecy. We are standing steadfast against a gathering dark as our battle lion flashes down the troubled peaceful fall. Take a chance, roll the dice. Is this hell or paradise? In this land of high adventure, carve your fate. Forgotten realms, magic spells, hallowed halls we need the thrills. He's the master of the evil in the deep. He's the dungeon master. He's the dungeon master. He's the dungeon master. He's the dungeon master. That's right. Master of evil, Lord of the dark and catacombs, and black and stone is where
What's next? Hey, gotcha. Oh, that music. Oh, yeah. Carnival music.
Master.
Calm down, let's calm down.
Oh my gosh. Going backwards. Yo! Yeah. An eagle. Yeti broke the track.
Go in front. Stupid.
Hold on, guys.
The bridge to Discovery Island, this way or this way?
Right there.
Walk this way up to the Academy residence. Just down there. There is a creek.
Do not put on your bow ties here in the lobby. We will give you instructions once you move on, once you are inside our theater. As a courtesy to our book cast, we kindly ask there be no flash photography.
Alright.
Come, why have some water?
The animals?
Yeah, the animals.
We are a photo safari. Just make sure you are hanging on really tightly to those cameras and cell phones. The warden does not allow me to stop if anything falls out. But if it does fall out, please let me know. Also, please make sure to stay seated at all times, keeping our hands, arms, feet, and legs inside. It does get to be rather bumpy out here. We do go through some pretty rough brush and close rocks. We just want to keep everybody nice and safe. This first area we're heading on into is called the Little Cheery Forest. The animals who live in here are often pretty good at blending in, but today we are going to get rather lucky. On the left side there are some bongos, like the drums. They're kind of an orangey reddish color. They are known as the ghosts of the forest. That's because they are so very, very rarely seen. Not only are they primarily nocturnal, so primarily active at nighttime, but they're also really shy. They're pretty reclusive animals too, so we're lucky to see them. We're also lucky to see the okapis, who are on the right. A lot of people assume that okapis are related to a zebra because of their legs, but that's not the case. Okapis are actually the only known relatives of the giraffe. They have this really cool prehensile tongue that allows them to lick their own eyes and ears, much like giraffes can. Prehensile means they can move it in whatever direction that they want to. They can even use it to grab onto their food as well. These lovely grayish antelopes on both sides are greater kudus. These particular greater kudus are female. You can tell just because they don't have any horns. Male kudu horns can be about 6 feet long. There's also a saddle-billed stork and a black rhino here as well. Saddle-billed storks get their name from that lovely yellow saddle shape on their bill. They're usually about 5 feet tall. They can have a wingspan of about 9 feet across. Unlike most birds, they don't communicate through any sort of chirping or tweeting sounds. They'll communicate by rattling their bills back and forth together. It makes a clacking noise. You can tell that's a black rhino because it's by itself. They are a very solitary, very, very territorial species. They're usually found together at nighttime. Then during mating season, mothers and their calves. And that's about it. Black rhinos are also the smallest of the rhino species, only about 2,000 to 3,000 pounds. They also have a pointed upper lip. That upper lip is what helps them to navigate around a lot of branches and bushes while they eat here in the forest. They're a browser, so they just wander around. They'll eat off trees and bushes. We're also going to be heading down toward a river I know of. This river is actually called the Safi River. Rivers and watering holes do typically make pretty decent places to find animals. So we're going to look and see what's around. We can actually see a pod of pink-backed pelicans here on the left-hand side. There's some on this first island and then a couple a little bit farther up as well. If we look carefully, you can kind of see some of their nests here on this first island. They are colonial nesters, so they like to nest as a group. The idea is the more birds they have watching out for a nest, ideally, the safer that those nests are going to be. So the one standing up is the guard for all of those little nests. There's also a Nile hippopotamus here as well, just chilling in the water. Hippos are actually some of the largest and most dangerous animals in Africa, not because of what they eat. They're an herbivore. They primarily eat plants. They're mostly dangerous because of how big they are. They'll usually weigh about 5,500 pounds. Their bite is so strong it can crush a crocodile in half. There's more out here by the waterfalls too. They like the waterfalls for the same reason you and I like hot tubs. And it does circulate some of that cooler water as well. Speaking of the crocodiles, they are all here on this left-hand side. Now they are alive. They just don't do a lot for the majority of the day. It's because they're cold-blooded. Like most reptilians are, they need to save the vast majority of their energy for when they have to eat, which is only about once a week to about once a month or so, typically depending on how much they eat at once. They will usually eat about half of their body weight in one sitting. They weigh about 500 pounds. They've also got a bone-crushing bite force of around 2,000 pounds. If they were to lay perfectly still underneath the water, they can actually hold their breath for about 2 hours, which is incredibly impressive, considering we humans can only hold our breath for just a couple of minutes or so. As cool as they are, I do think I'm going to take us off into a different ecosystem. That is because a different ecosystem actually means a lot of different animals. And we are heading into the savanna and the Serengeti grasslands. These grasslands will often act as kind of a superhighway for a lot of the migratory animals that like to live here. One of the first ones you can see are the springboks. They're going to be down on the right hand side. They're kind of smaller looking tan and white antelope near the really big sticks. So the really large stick right in the middle, kind of behind it, and next to it are the springboks. Springboks look a lot smaller than they are. They're actually about 3 feet tall, and they weigh about 100 pounds. So they are about the same size as cheetahs. They just look tiny because everything around them is pretty big. They get their name from their incredible ability to jump. They can jump about 6 feet straight up into the air and about 13 feet forward. When they do, it's called prunking. They will typically prunk when they get scared or startled or just sometimes really super excited about something. We're also going to check out this den here on the left-hand side. Sometimes we can get lucky enough to see the African wild dogs. Looks like they're up and moving about today. At least a couple of them are. The African wild dogs are also called painted dogs because of their spots. They're some of the most successful predators in Africa. They're actually more successful than lions, cheetahs, and hyenas all combined together. It's because they not only hunt as a group, but because they chase their prey down till their prey just falls right over from exhaustion. Their top speed's around 45 miles an hour. They can run that speed for about 3.5 miles, or around 30 minutes. Typically, whichever one happens first. The rest of them are inside the den. They are crepuscular, so primarily active at dawn and dusk. That's why we don't really see them doing a whole lot throughout most of the day. Also here on the left side are the zebras, and of course a giraffe here too. This particular zebra species are the Hartmann's mountain zebras, or just mountain zebra. You can tell because they've got this little flap of skin on their neck. It's actually called a dewlap. They store a lot of hydration in their skin, so having the dewlap helps them stay hydrated a little bit more easily. They're also black with white stripes. You can tell because of the color of their nose, just like you can with horses. They are in the same family. Babies are even called a foal, which is a little baby horse. Also up here on the left side are wildebeests and a sable antelope. The wildebeests are the grayish ones. The sable antelopes are the ones who are dark brown. Sable antelopes can be a little bit on the aggressive side. They can be a little bit territorial as well. So they don't really like anybody up in their space. So I'm very proud of them right now for hanging out so close to the wildebeests. The wildebeests are also called gnus. That's after the grunting sound that they make. They actually do have one of the largest migrations in Africa. Around 1.5 million of them migrate anywhere between about 500 and about 1,000 miles a year. That's basically from Orlando, Florida, all the way on up to Toronto, Canada. I waited to talk about giraffes because I knew there were some down here, and I wanted to talk about everything else first. Plus the babies are down here too. A group of them is actually called a tower. It's perfect for giraffes because they tower over everything. Adults can stand anywhere between about 18 and 20 feet tall, making them the tallest animal in the world. When their adorable little babies are born, usually about 4 to 6 feet tall. That's after mothers have been pregnant for about 18 months or so. Most of them are doing what giraffes do best, which is eat. Giraffes eat for around 20 hours a day. They only sleep for about 30 minutes out of the whole entire day, both of which are due to their digestive systems. The giraffes are a ruminant. It means that they have a 4-compartment stomach, and all their food goes right through all 4 compartments. So they eat a lot. They just don't really waste a lot of time asleep.
See the giant horns.
And then on the right, taking a nap, are the Anacoli cattle. They're in that clump of trees there. They're also called the Watusi cattle. And that's after the tribe that was first to domesticate them. Honestly, their horns, not that heavy. What they have inside of them is this honeycomb shape that actually has veins running through. That's what helps them regulate their temperatures. That's what keeps them cool in the summer and warm in the winter time as well. A couple more giraffes here on the left side. If you ever get to see their tongues, they're this really unique sort of purpley, bluishy, gray color. They're often referred to as having a black tongue, but they're definitely more purple. And that's actually what helps keep their tongue from getting a sunburn while they're eating in the trees. Their tongues are also pretty long as well, typically about 18 inches long or so. Okapis, who are their cousins, have a much, much shorter tongue, typically only about 12 inches long or so. We're also heading off into an area known as Monkey Point. It's named after a troop of mandrills that sometimes likes to call the area home, but it is the start of elephant country as well. The elephants are both here on the right-hand side. We're going to go really slow just so everyone can see, and then the mandrills are on the left. Mandrills are the largest and most vibrantly colored monkeys in the world. With male mandrills, I don't see him right now, but male mandrills weigh up to about 100 pounds. All of them have red and blue noses. Males are the only ones that have a blue backside color. The more vibrant their color, the more dominant that the males are going to be. And yes, they are considered a monkey because they have a tail. That is the difference between a monkey and an ape. Monkeys have a tail, and apes do not. So gorillas technically are an ape, not a monkey. My guess is those two elephants are probably females, just because there is more than one. Once males have reached mating age, which for them is around 15 years old, they are kind of kicked out of the herd to live the life of a bachelor. They prefer it that way, as do the females. It's because they're a matriarchal species, meaning that they follow the females. Males are typically only around for mating season. Neither one of them is very large either. You would know it if they were a fully grown male, because they would be huge. Typically around 12 to 14,000 pounds and about 14 feet tall. Females, a little bit smaller, usually about 8 to 10,000 pounds, but about 8 to 10 feet tall. So females are only about as tall as one of these safari trucks. Males, significantly bigger. There's a female out here on the left as well. Today is also World Elephant Day too, so happy World Elephant Day for everyone. There's a couple more here too. It looks like there's at least 2. Both males and females do have tusks. Their tusks are essentially giant teeth. They're made of ivory, so they're super duper strong. They actually help elephants with all kinds of things. They help them to eat the red clay, which is a vitamin for them. They help them to scratch bark off trees, which is a favorite sweet snack. And they even use their tusks to defend themselves. Ivory, though, really isn't all that useful to humans. We only use ivory in art and in jewelry. Despite that, about 100 elephants are being poached each and every day. That's about 1 every 15 minutes. If that rate continues, their entire species goes extinct within less than 5 years. Just for art. Humans are also mining on their land for a metal known as coltan. Coltan is found in a lot of our favorite electronics. Most commonly, it's found in cell phones. They cannot possibly make up the gap that poaching has created because their pregnancy is around 22 months long. So the easiest things we can do to help them out are to recycle our items, to not buy things made of ivory. It's also the least we can do, considering we are their only predators. Moving on to something happier, the little elephant is playing in the mud. I'm gonna let you watch for a second while I grab some water real quick.
Oh.
I figured y'all didn't want to hear like drinking sounds, but the reason the little one is playing in the mud is because it's hot. So elephants also have pretty sensitive skin. Their skin is so sensitive that sometimes raindrops can actually hurt their skin. So they'll throw the mud up there to act as kind of a 2-in-1, both a coolant and a sunscreen. When it dries and becomes dirt, that's when it will function as their sunscreen, and when it is mud, that's when it will help to cool them off. And then on the left side is a flamboyance of greater flamingos. There's also 4 baby ones here as well. The 4 baby ones are the gray ones. There's 2 on this side, 1 here in the middle, and 1 on the other side of the island. They hatch gray. They will remain gray for about 1.5 years. Sometimes all the way up to about 2 years or so. Honestly, up until that point, they have not eaten enough shrimp to turn pink. Greater flamingos will be fully grown in size, around 2 to 4 months old. See right there? That's they sound like you've never heard flamingos. But they'll be fully grown in size, around 2 to 4 months old, and then they spend the rest of their lives
Oh my goodness.
turning pink. We just have to hang out here for just a moment. There are some animals in the road a little bit in front of us, so we just get to listen to the flamingos honking, probably because the warden is going to be heading on into their water here in just a couple of minutes. But greater flamingos will be fully grown in size very, very shortly, 2 to 4 months, and then they spend the rest of their lives turning pink. Greater flamingos do get their color from the brine shrimp that they eat. It is the beta carotene that is found in the shell of the shrimp. Some of the other flamingo species are that more vibrant, rich color because they eat algae, and that just has more color in it than the shrimp does. And then out here on the left are some of the white rhinos. They're so cute. They're adorable. That biggest one, so there's 2 moms and a baby. The baby is about the size of a black rhino. So it's not really baby anymore, but you can see the size difference between black rhinos and white rhinos, which are the 2 African rhino species. The other 3 rhino species live in Asia. That would be the Javan rhino, the Sumatran rhino, and the Indian rhino, which is sometimes called the greater one-horned rhino because they only have 1 horn. All the other species have 2. White is not a reference to their color in any way at all. It is a mistranslation of the Afrikaans word wijd, meaning wide. And that's in reference to their mouth. They do actually have extremely wide and a flat mouth because they're a grazer, meaning that they're going to eat the grass on the ground like a giant lawnmower, which explains why the grass on the left looks the way that it does. Now I do know that this crash has a few more members, so we shall see if we can find them. But while we're looking for them, there's a couple of cheetahs up here on the left, all the way towards the front of the truck. Really, really good view of them today. At least of this one. I don't know where the second one is, but there's always more than one. And that is because cheetahs have this magically wonderful thing called anxiety. They're scared of absolutely everyone and everything bigger than they are. If it's bigger than about 100 pounds, they don't want anything to do with it at all. Having a friend with them essentially works the way that an emotional support animal would help a human. So essentially, they're each other's emotional support friends. Cheetahs are small, honestly because they're fast. They're the fastest land mammals in the world. They run at about 65 miles an hour, which they'll usually reach in about 3 seconds. That's like most sports cars. They can only run that fast for about 30 to 45 seconds. Otherwise, their bodies will overheat. On the right behind the green car is an ostrich. We'll see. There you go. They like to hang out by the green car because the green car is shiny and has snackies. Ostrich like shiny things, and they like to eat, so the car is perfect for them. Ostrich are the largest bird in the world. They do weigh about 150 pounds or so, but they actually cannot fly. They can, however, run pretty fast at about 45 miles an hour. When they flap their wings and they run, they're not trying to fly. They're actually trying to keep their balance and change direction as well. They know they can't fly the same way that we humans know that we cannot fly either. There's a couple more rhinos up here as well. This one is the baby, so the youngest little calf on the reserve. They are right behind the bushes right now. Here comes a little one. Rin, 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 rin. It's so cute. And the antelope that's here is a bontebok. They're cousins of the wildebeests that it very loosely translates into patchwork antelope. It's because they've got a lot of different colors on their bodies. They also cannot even jump. They're not really all that athletic, so that's about what they do. That little baby rhino is so cute. They're usually born between about 88 and about 150 pounds after moms have been pregnant about 16 to 18 months. Usually it's closer to 16, but it can go all the way up to 18 if they needed it to. Just like for humans, typically we're pregnant for about 9 months, but you can go up to like 40 weeks, which is 10 months, so it can vary a little bit too. And then on the left are the tiny and adorable Nigerian dwarf goats. My favorite one is one that looks like cookies and cream ice cream at the top of the hill. It has ice blue eyes. It's so cute. The baby goats are called kids. I also love the one that's on the right side of the door. It's kind of facing the back of the truck just because I love its little boots. And the fact that it wanted to be every single color of the rainbow, so it's so cute. I love them. Although if any of them wanted me to pet them, I 100% would. They are a domesticated dairy goat. They're so cute. The Cookies and Cream one has the prettiest eyes though. All the rest of them have like dark brown eyes, but Cookies and Cream, I call it Cookies. I don't know if that's actually its name, but that's what I call it. Cookies has the cutest little eyes too. It's adorable. So they are a domesticated dairy goat. They are primarily used for milk, but farmers can also benefit off the goat's ability to eat. Just like giraffes, they are a ruminant. They actually have a multi-chambered stomach. They eat a lot. Farmers usually let the goats just kind of run around their pastures, and the goats will eat a lot more of that really dense underbrush that larger livestock animals cannot get to. They actually have what's called a symbiotic relationship with humans. Both parties benefit. Goats get a safe place to live, fed, and attention. Humans benefit off their milk and their ability to eat. Plus, the goats are just really, really small and really, really cute. So I cannot imagine why you wouldn't want to have a lot of them in the first place. Now, one of the easiest ways you can help to protect all the animals of the world, endangered animals or not, is just by learning more about them. The more that we know about those animals, the more that we will know what's impacting them, and any ways that we might be able to help. Plus, the more we know about something, the more likely we are to care about it. And we humans really like to protect the things that we care the most about. So I challenge each of you today to go home and not only learn something new about those animals, but take what you've learned and share your knowledge with someone else. You never know, it might end up inspiring someone to take action in protecting those animals. If you are a wilderness explorer, the name of this truck is Simba 1. That's Simba, like the lion from the movie, and the number 1. You'll be able to find that badge on pages 14 and 15 of your books, and you'll be able to receive your badge kind of on the side of this hill on the right hand side as you exit. It is no longer out front like your book suggests. It is just here on the right. They moved it a few months ago and haven't had a chance to change those books quite yet. If you did want to see even more animals, I definitely recommend checking out that Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. They have all kinds of cool things you might be able to see up there. You may be able to see things like meerkats, zebras, naked mole rats. They even have an underwater hippo pool and an aviary as well. Plus, it is the only place in the entire park that you can find gorillas. They have the western lowland gorillas up there. Sometimes they're called silverbacks, but males, well, they're the only ones.
Got it. My buddy doesn't win. My mother got it. She's in her 80s. Yeah, we'll just run. Oh yeah, no, that's the ironic part. It's like, right, Tom and Jennifer like totally have everything. off
I didn't know it was going to be so good. I liked it better than the first one.
I kind of like them both.
I like them both.
Well, the Bugs Life thing. You know, like Halloween.
That Nemo show was Roderick.
Yeah.
People would pay a lot of stuff.
The Frozen show was like
Nemo was better.
Yeah, that was a lot better.
Distract us.
Wait, where, wait, what? Something going on? No, that's not what I'm on about.
8. Move a little if you can. 9.
Thanks.
Before we say you'll be in the back chamber, let's watch this piece by Dr. Ogden, who runs the program.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Jackie Ogden from the Pandora Conservation Initiative. You're about to experience a ceremony that's very special to the Na'vi, flying on the back of an Ikran, or as we call it, a banshee. To the Na'vi, connecting to an Ikran and flying on its back is an incredibly important rite of passage they call Ikni Maya. With permission from the Na'vi and in partnership with Alpha Centauri Expeditions, we can now bring this amazing experience to you. The way you'll be able to fly is by linking to an avatar that's already on the back of an Ikran. Let's see how this works.
We establish a link using powerful psionic amplification equipment. A human driver is connected to an avatar, which could be physically hundreds of kilometers away. When you follow our technician into the link chamber, you'll see a series of 16 link chairs. Please go to the number that matches the number you're standing on now. First, stow your gear in the storage containers on the back wall. This should include all bags, cameras, and other items, including cell phones. It's important to push them all the way into the bin. Then you get onto the chair as you would a bike. Straddle the seat, step forward, and sit down. Slide your hips forward until you are against the chest pad, and then move your feet all the way forward. Wait until you're seated before you put on your flight visors. Hold onto the hand grips as shown. It's important to hold onto the hand grips at all times. After you're seated, back and leg restraints will be firmly engaged. For your safety, throughout this entire experience, always remain seated and supervise your children.
Once the link takes place, you'll be connected to your avatar and sitting on the back of an Ikran. It'll feel like you're really there. Moments later, you'll begin your flight. A Na'vi guide will lead you out. You'll experience the breathtaking beauty of Pandora, but you might also face some of its greatest challenges. Some of this flight might be intense, but trust your guide and be brave. As the Na'vi say during this important rite of passage, Sivak Ho, rise to the challenge. Good luck.
All right, you ready?
Yeah, let's go right.
Let's get you into the link chamber.
All right, travelers, you will be restrained at a height above the ground and the floor will be moving during your flight. So if you do have anyone who's prone to motion sickness or has a fear of heights and feels they can't sit for the 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the flight, this is the time to opt out. Otherwise, 1 through 8, you're going to follow me. Number 9, you'll follow number 8. Come on in, guys.
Attention drivers, stow your gear on the back wall and then get onto the link chair the way we showed you in the video. Then put on your flight visors.
There you go. That's what I was planning.
For your safety, throughout this entire experience, remain seated, lean forward, holding onto the hand grips, and supervise your children.
I'm right here.
Para su seguridad, durante toda esta experiencia deberán permanecer sentados, inclinarse hacia adelante agarrando las barras y supervisen a sus niños. Gracias.
I think this is us. Yeah, I believe this is us. It's a harness. It's all right.
All right, folks. You're good. All righty. If you haven't already, have those visors on, and you folks have a safe and great flight. And as we like to say, let me hear you. Sibako!
Oh boy. Neuralink is 100%. Let's go. Oh boy, let's go. Woo! Holy shnikes. Oh my god, it's gorgeous. Look at the smell of it. Damn it. That one's sealed off. I'll have to go around. Where are the buses?
Which number is it?
James, what's wrong with that?
Alright, gate 2.
What?